Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have Amruta madam with us. She is a science teacher in DF Public School, Barampur. So our topic is for the English project. It's a natural resource getting depleted by by fulfilling human needs. So we want to take an interview of yours, ma'am. In what way you think that we humans use the most of the natural resources?
See, if you consider all the organisms on this nature, and human beings are the well developed and they have the fertile brain and they can utilize the natural resources to the maximum level. In that way, you see all the organisms, they adjust to the environment and they modify their behavior according to that. Whereas human beings are the only species on this world. They try to modify the nature for their own comfort and needs. That is why they use the most of the natural resources.
Conservation of resources is needed. If we neglect it, what impact will it get?
See, natural resources, once it has been formed along with our earth, it is in a limited amount. So once we are utilizing them, then some they can be replenished. They are the renewable energies like sunlight. You can also consider the biomass, the vegetation, but it takes a long time. Whereas if you consider the fossil fuel, the minerals, the metals, the topsoil, water and all, once it is utilized forever. Again, we cannot replenish it. That is why we have to use it judiciously and we have to conserve it for our future.
Yes. Ma'am, as you are a teacher in Eco Club, many organizations and all by the schools or colleges or institutions give a lot of fund. So it is beneficial to give the fund to Eco Clubs as we are not seeing that most of the members of the Eco Clubs are actively participate in conservation of natural resources, or what the things we know that Eco Club should do.
Nationwide, it is a very good step from our Department of Science and Technology, Environment, and also the Government of India, that they have taken the steps to form the eco clubs in various educational institutions as well as NGOs. But the fund what it has been given, some are utilizing proper way and some are misutilizing. Okay, so for example, our sec, if I tell, for yearly we are getting 2,500 only, and that we are utilizing for either performing one more job, either creating some awareness programs inside the school premises, going to different places, ecotourism, and also giving some of the gifts which will help the people to know their nature and help them to keep aware that how the trees are precious. Eco Club is not meant only to do the plantation, rather it is the conservation of the whole of the environment, whole of the nature. That means that amount what is we are getting, it may not be sufficient, but from our side also we should contribute something, and we have to do in such a manner that the benefit should reach each and every person, each people, each student, everybody should get benefit, and we should be motivated to conserve our nature. Eco Club, it is formed, the main motto is that when students, they will aware themselves.
Good morning. Today we have with us Madhusrabani ma'am. She is a biology teacher in DF Public School, Barampur. So ma'am, today we are
Good morning to everyone.
today we are here to take an interview of yours on the topic natural resources getting depleted by fulfilling human needs. So ma'am, as you know, natural resources are vital for us. So what conservation methods should we use for that?
Is you can know that there is a program is there about charity begins from home. Okay. So we must think about what are the natural resources that we are using in our day-to-day life. And second thing is that we must start it from at our own level. Before you go to a large scale, you must start it at home. Right? So first of all, to switch on the lights and fans that you are when it is not in use, and when you are wasting water, right? That is also the first thing, that the most abundant resource that we are using is the water. So how we can reduce the wastage of water, that we must do. So we should begin it at home first.
The second question is, what do you think in which way humans are using natural resources the most?
I think it is for day-to-day life what we are using, that is abundant we use. Now, as earlier though we were using water as which is abundant, as I have already told you, that the abundant resource that we are using. But now, like water, all petroleum products and oils that are also used. So, by using carpooling, or sometimes by walking or by using bicycle, also we can reduce the abundant pollution of this petrol, diesel, right? So that it will be easier for the future generation, so that they can use the natural resources.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Eco Club is funded with by government colleges or schools and other institutions. Is it beneficial to fund when we know that many of the members are not actively participating in the works? What we know that Eco Club should do.
An organization, when it is being implemented by government and non-government sources, then obviously they are working under an aim. Okay? They are working under an aim for to fulfill it. Obviously, if it is being funded by government resources from government of India, or whether it is from any other organization, there is a purpose behind it. So they are working in their own way. But I think that it is not only that Eco Club is only planting the trees and just taking care of the plants. It is not enough. Okay? So they must think about to change the mindset of the people, how we can use the resources in a proper way. Because generally people don't know what is the right way to reduce the abuse of the natural resources. Actually, they don't. So, it's great work to make people understand. Even a layman can understand how these resources can be utilized in a right way. And I must say, I will not say uneducated people. It is educated people who are wasting it, right, everywhere. Right?
So, as a science teacher, what good evening. Today we have with us Manaswini ma'am, our physics teacher. Ma'am, I would like to take your interview on the topic natural resources getting depleted by fulfilling human needs for our English project. So, ma'am, first of all, I would like to ask you that what do you think in which way the humans use the most of the natural resources?
That's a very good question to start with. Thank you for asking me that question, Victor.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, if we will see our environment, we will see our surrounding, everything which we are having, in which man has no input,
Yes,
that are the natural resources. Starting from the air we use for breathing process, the sunlight, or we can say the water, all are the natural resources which are already there before the mankind, right?
yes, ma'am.
So basically, if you will go for simple daily life, to start the day, we used to, like, after getting up off our bed, we used to wash our face. So in
Yes.
that way also we are using water. To hydrate ourselves during the summer season, which is most important, we are drinking water. To cook, to starve ourselves, we are using water. Similarly, to have a normal breathing process, to
Yes,
have
ma'am.
the oxygen, to release the carbon dioxide, we are using air. Or else, now coming to a technical part, we are using air conditioners, air coolers, fans, or the, even if electricity is not there, we are using hand fans.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
are the simple use of air resource. I mean, here as a natural resource, we can say. Similarly, coming to minerals, to be more technical, coming to minerals, the food which we are taking, or the different types of fruits we are intaking, all of them are giving us different types of minerals, like calcium is there, proteins are there, so different types of, or irons are there. So these are some basic uses we can say. Like we are, even we are, if somebody is not belonging to science background also, that person will be able to use this kind of resources. So yes, there are several uses like this which we are using from our daily life.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, next question is how to conserve these resources, as we know that it is getting depleted nowadays.
Right, right. So basically the thing is, as I am starting from the normal use, suppose
Yes.
again I'll come to our household. If you're using water resource, every time while using while doing the brushing, we used to open the tap continuously till our brushing is getting over.
Yes, ma'am.
So in that we can do, like whenever we are not using that water resource, we can turn the tap off. Now we are having sensor technology, like whenever we are putting our hand under the tap, water is coming out of it, and when as soon as we are removing our hand, water is getting stopped. So that's a very good technology by which we are on the path
Yes,
of
ma'am. Ma'am, is it
conserving
also
the
a
water.
gift of physics?
Yes, of course.
Yes, ma'am.
The nature is all about physics, no doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Then coming to, like basically in some portions or in some areas we can say, mostly because of the increase of industrialism, or we can say increase of we can say infrastructure. What we are doing, we are trying to develop the, or we are trying to make a ease of life for mankind, but at the same time, as you said, we are destructing, or we are also distorting our natural resources. When we come for the infrastructure, we are distorting the soil, or we can say the nature earth, right? So in
Yes.
that thing, many lands are getting used for, fertile lands are also getting used for infrastructure, for household purpose, for industries. In that thing, our crop fields are also getting affected. And coming to water resource again, we can say that in some portions you must have seen that some natural water resource which we are having, like ponds or rivers, or that waterfalls are getting dried off nowadays,
Yes, ma'am.
because of, I guess, of course we can say, because of heavy uh, huge amount of heat, but that is also a side effect of not having a proper soil resource and having less amount of trees.
Ma'am, start. Good evening. Today we have with us Smruti ma'am. She's a mathematics teacher in Day Public School, Barampur. So today, ma'am, I want to take your interview on the topic natural resources getting depleted by fulfilling human needs. So, ma'am, our first question will be that uh, in which way we humans use the most of the natural resources?
Okay, thank you, Betul, for the question.
Yes.
We know that actually we are using many kinds of natural resources in our daily life.
Yes.
We are using solar energy and wind, you can say air, water, fossil fuels, and other gases. Okay, so here I'm going to put an example when a baby birth. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
doctor says that the child need vitamin D. Okay, so that vitamin D also we are getting from sunlight. Okay, that means we are using natural resources in direct way for the development. Okay, and again, if I'm going to another example, see, you are a student,
Yes, ma'am.
so and I'm a teacher. So our ultimate destination is school. While we are going to school, suppose you are going to school by bus, or I'm using a scooty. So for that we need petrol.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
that is nothing but that
Fossil
is
fuel.
also or
Yes.
natural resources. So basically human beings are ultimately depending upon natural resources. That means we are using natural resources in different portions. Okay, so that means without natural resources, human being life is very difficult actually.
Yes.
That is my point.
Okay. Ma'am, next question is that, uh, as you are a science teacher, what steps would you like to suggest to we should take in our schools to conserve natural resources?
Okay, so it's a very nice question actually. I think that from beginning of your schooling, that means
Yes.
from you are starting from LKG, UKG, nursery, like that. When you people are aware, that means when we are going to put something or we are going to teach something, you can adopt easily in that period, after uh, 8 to 10, after 8 to 10 years, if we include or teachers suggest students are aware about how to use the natural resources, um, mm, that means the limitation of using natural resources, don't to waste water, how we can reuse water. Okay, then how we can consume light. That means whenever because you people are habituated with this, whenever you are leaving the room, you are not switching off the light
Yes,
or
ma'am.
fans. Okay, that means ultimately we are wasting, or we are wasting our natural resources,
Resources.
because we are getting electricity, that is also a natural resources. So so that means this habit of switching off the fan and light whenever it is not required. Okay, and 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 one more thing, that means plantation, that is also plantation is also needed, because in this growing population is what happened that trees, we are cutting up the trees for the land, because population increasing, we need more and more land for the houses and industries or whatever it is. So that is also one point we can suggest, or we can teach this student that, suppose in nursery classes, actually in
Yes.
nursery class, what is going on in school, um, suppose one student is having birthday, so we are celebrating the birthday in that way, cutting cake or distributing sweets, chocolates, that's it. But if we suggest the student that, suppose Bitter's birthday is there,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we are going to plant a tree, so that is a very good thing, na? So
Yes,
these
ma'am. Initiative
things
is very
should
good.
be included in our school curricular, so that students, from the beginning of their life, they should aware of how to consume this natural resources, and gradually the depletion of natural resources will be healed. That is my
Yes.
point.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for that answer. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, next one more interesting question is that resource development course are being taught in university level. So should we implement in our school's curriculum also, since a primary
Do you
or
think that
secondary?
these courses are not there in your school curriculum? It is
It is there,
not
ma'am,
being
but
taught
not in a
as a
proper.
complete.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it is not as a complete subject, but as a part of your subject is already there.
Yes, ma'am. In geography, it
Okay.
is there.
Yes. But what happens then when you go to that complete that course, they are being taught more about the projects and all those things which
Yes,
can
ma'am.
be done by a elderly grown children, but you cannot do. But you are also reading those things, you are also learning. We need not implement again, they are already being there in your
Yes, ma'am.
curriculum.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful answer. Ma'am,
Thank
next
you.
question is there. Principles of 5 hours and 6 hours. We know, we read, we teach to others. So you think that is only theoretical it is going on, or it should be practically also be done?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. This
particular R's, what we are calling refuse, reuse, refuse. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if I go one by one R, actually this refuse term is literally no meaning. We are never refusing it. Instead, we are asking for
Yes,
those
ma'am.
things what we should refuse them. Yes, reusing is being done. That's true. We are reusing them. We are putting them to recycle. Also, it is going on, right? Reducing the use. No, I would not say that is being done. Hardly a few people are reducing them. Hardly a few people are only doing that one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Repurpose, reuse, repurpose, we are doing it. Repair, no. Repair is hardly done by a very, very limited people. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
overall, if you go for these 6 hours, very few are being followed, but others are not being followed. Though they are theoretically told to do it, but they are not being done properly.
Yes, ma'am. Next question is, celebrating one Mahotsav once in a week in the month of July, is it only our responsibility?
It's an interesting question, Jai.
Yes, ma'am.
See, one Mahotsav is name, it is coming as one Mahotsav. Acha, like every festival, this also has become a festival only.
Yes,
It should not be done once in a year. Once in a year, we begin like a birthday celebration.
Yes,
Once
ma'am.
we are celebrating the birthday, do you think that the entire year we are forgetting the things? We are
No.
waiting for the
Yes,
birthday
ma'am.
again.
Eagerly we
But
are waiting for
we
that.
stopping growing over there? We are
No.
not stopping.
Yes,
Same
ma'am.
manner, once the sapling is being put into, for its development and growth, the child should take care of that one.
Yes, ma'am.
That is what one Mahotsav exactly is. It is not that every year the term date will come, we'll be sapling it and then forget it. What is the value of that one?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
the process is through, it goes through the entire year.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
on that day, we are again, in that week, we are allowing, or we can, what we'll say, like, we make programs, we, what is the term like?
Some awareness program or some road
Yeah,
release.
yeah, right. Awareness. We are
Yes, ma'am.
creating awareness among public and all those things so that they can also help in this particular creating the green environment.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, last question of our interview is that developed countries like Japan are totally dependent upon human resources, but in developing countries like India are completely dependent upon natural resources. Is this the major cause for resource depletion?
I do not think so exactly. See,
Yes, ma'am.
developed country like Japan,
Yes, ma'am.
as it is lacking in natural resources, it brings them, converts them to human resources, and that is again converting into their monetary. I mean to say, it goes generally to their education.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is not that because that we do not have human, I mean to say, we have natural resources, we are lacking. It is not. We are not converting it. It is not that we cannot go for develop because that we have the natural resources, we are under developing and they are developed. It is not so. It is, there is no relation between natural resource and human resources to convert into a developed country.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever the resources are there, that can be easily taken into to make any country a developed country.
Yes, ma'am.
It all depends upon how we use it.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you, ma'am, for all the wonderful answers and giving us your valuable time from your busy schedule. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes. Good morning, one and all. Today we have with us Arghyadeep Palai from Debasis. He is a class 12 student. So Arghyadeep, we would like to talk with you with some series of questions on our given topic, natural resources getting depleted by fulfilling human needs. So what are the what do you think that in which way we humans use the natural resources the most?
We use natural resources the most in the form of fossil fuels, and we also use water for different purposes of energy generation and also for consumption in different factories.
Yes. Okay. So a lot of money is being funded to eco clubs, as you know, and I think you are also a part of eco club. So what do you think that is it beneficial to fund eco clubs from the schools, colleges, or other
Yes.
government institutions and all. Uh, as if also we know that the members of the eco clubs are not doing the work actively that they are known for.
Even though we are not getting the desired results, we should not give up so easily, because the eco clubs generally create awareness among the people about different drives and programs for nature conservation. So we
Yes.
should obviously keep funding them, as it would give incentives to the people to join those eco clubs.
Okay. So next question is that celebrating One Mahotsav week for once in a year, is it only our responsibility?
No, it should not be like that. One Mahotsav is generally celebrated in all the institutes to only show that they are doing all the different procedures that are done generally in all the institutions. So we should not limit ourselves to only a 1 week or 1 month.
Okay.
We should celebrate One Mahotsav among all the years.
Okay. So we have studied principles of 5 hours or 6 hours. Is it getting practically implemented?
It is getting practically implemented in some of the developed countries, and also in India, in some of the cities like Indore,
Yes.
where we can see that all the waste is recycled and reused completely, and the loss is very less than even 5%. So it is beneficial. So if we keep doing this, our efficiency will increase with time.
Okay. So as a science student, what steps would you suggest that in the schools we should take up for conservation of natural resources?
First of all, we should create awareness about the dire situation that we are facing right now.
Yes.
The students are not able to perceive the direness of the situation and the depletion of the natural resources at a rapid rate. So they should be educated about it, and also educated with the different procedures and different methods to counter it.
Okay. So last question of our interview is that uh, developed countries like Japan is completely dependent upon human resources. Developing countries like India is dependent upon natural resources. So is this the most or the major cause of natural resource depletion?
Yes, it can be said so, because India is heavily dependent on natural resources despite being rich in human resources.
Yes.
India does not see the population as an asset, but sees it as a liability. So if
Okay.
we use all the human resources that we have in a proper way, we can reduce the consumption of natural resources to a great extent.
Okay. So any last message to our viewers?
My last message would be we should conduct all this eco surveys and ecosystem reviews properly, so that people get a proper idea about what's going on, so they may take the necessary steps required to keep going forward.
Thank you for the wonderful answers, Arghyadeep. Uh, thank you for giving us valuable time of yours from your busy schedule. Okay, all the best for your upcoming exams. Thank you.
Thank, thank you. The pleasure is mine.
Okay. Good morning, Spandan. Today we have with us Master Spandan Kumar Sahoo, standard 12 student from Day Public School, Barampur. So we are here to take an interview on the given topic, natural resources getting depleted by fulfilling human needs. So what steps as a science student would you like to suggest that we should take in our schools?
First, we should make children aware, and through such activity programs or group projects, try to create awareness among the others Like if we teach children, they go to home and teach others,
Okay.
and thus it can become a mass movement.
Okay. Next question is, a lot of money is being funded to eco clubs. As you are also a part of eco clubs, what do you think it is beneficial to give the fund to eco clubs, even if we know that the works has not been done by the active members, or they are not actively participating in the works which we know for the eco clubs?
No, at present, I don't think the all the money is totally utilized.
Yes.
As most of the monies are being wasted, as mostly the children are uninterested in such activities because of studies and other pressure. They find it mostly a waste of time and energy.
Okay. Next question is,
So the activities should be integrated as a part of curriculum.
okay. Next question is, principles of 5 hours or 6 hours we know. Is it practically being implemented everywhere or not?
No, I don't think so. As people know that principles such as 5 hours do exist, but they don't know the actual meaning and motive of the movement.
Okay.
They simply just are unaware.
Okay. Our last question is that developed countries like Japan is totally dependent upon human resources. Uh, Developing countries like India are dependent upon natural resources. So is this the major cause for natural resource depletion?
What I think is the major cause of depletion is because of we humans only. Like
Okay.
as you said, in countries like Japan, they lack in natural resources, but they have a high human resource value. So
Okay.
with the little amount of resource they have, they can use it to the optimum level. Whereas in countries like India, they have a great potential in natural resource, but due to lack in the field of human resource like education and poverty, they they can use the natural resource to its fullest, and thus it's getting wasted.
Okay. Thank you, Spandan, for your valuable time and wonderful answers. Thank you. Good morning. Today we have with us Master Nachiketa Panda. He is from Day Public School, student of Standard 12. Master Nachiketa, we are here to take an interview of yours on the topic natural resources getting depleted by human needs, by fulfilling human needs. So, what do you think, in which way we humans use the natural resources the most?
Okay, good morning. So see, natural resources is something which humans need in day-to-day life at every point of life time. Now also we are sitting, we must be holding a bottle of water. It's also a natural resource, right? But coming directly to your question, in which way humans use the natural resources the most. So according to a survey by the UNESCO, it's the water, which is the most used human resource. Means humans, the most used natural resource is water, and the second being followed by the human resource itself.
Okay. Thank you for the wonderful answer. So our next question is, a lot of money is being funded to eco clubs by various institutions, schools, colleges, other government institutions. So is it beneficial to fund them, even if we know that the members of the eco clubs are not actively participating on the works what eco clubs are known for?
Okay, but to say, if you go for proper funding agencies such as the United Nations Environment Program, such institutions do tend to use completely the fund they are receiving for
Okay.
nature's development. If you know, the Amazon rainforest in the Amazon basin is getting depleted by 20, was getting depleted at a rate of 20% per year. But now, due to the UNEP, the fund, means though it is getting depleted at the same rate, the Amazon rainforest has started healing by means a huge 10%. The Amazon rainforest is healing. So we can say we have the Earth's lungs safe.
Okay. So our next question is that research development course are being taught in university level. So should we add to it to our school curriculum? What advantages it will have?
It's indeed a beautiful question. Yes, indeed, resource development program is something which can be learned by everyone. It doesn't obey age limits
Yes.
because each and every human being is a potential human resource itself. So it's our own responsibility to save the resources because we too are a part of the resource bio. Okay,
Okay.
all the resources we indeed are a resource. So we need to protect it, and hence, if the resource development processes are implemented at school level, what happens is it makes the minds of the students mature and they're answering to the adversities which are being caused by the depletion decreases, helping to build a better environment.
Okay. So we know that principles of 5 hours and 6 hours, what we study in our school curriculum. So is it practically implemented everywhere?
It's basically a big no.
Okay.
It's basically a big no because the recycle, reuse, and all those policies under the 5 hour and 6 hour policies now for even 7 hour and 9 hour are existing. But you can see them to be in a rare use. Even the basic thing that you can keep the dry and wet waste separately in blue and green bins, that even is not being followed by people. That's a simple step, to separate your waste. But people aren't still following it. They just dump it together. So
Okay.
it is not being completely practically implemented.
Okay. So our next question is celebrating Banmosaf once in a year for a week. Is it only our responsibility?
What should I say is that one more step should be for an eternity. Not only a week could help the environment to grow. Means planting a sapling and clicking photos doesn't make you give you a valid one, sir.
Okay.
Should be something to nature's benefit.
Okay. Thank you, Nachiketa, for your wonderful answers and giving us your valuable time from your busy schedule. Thank you.
Today here we have Safal, student of DAV Public School, Barampur. Good morning, Safal. As we all know,
So,
how
hello.
essential are natural resources to us, and this need and greed leading to depletion, and it's a matter of great concern. So, what do you think in which way we humans use the natural resources the most?
So, hello Devashish, my name is Safal. I am 18 years old, and I think that humans rely on natural resources for survival, but not all natural resources are renewable. The food and water we consume, the air we breathe, and the shelter we make all are deriving from natural resources. So, what we must do is take some steps so that we take some steps to conserve what we have, to encourage the health and longevity of the planet and the mankind. Human activity, mainly the uses of non-renewable resources like fossil fuels and cutting down the trees are responsible for a massive spike in the climate change. By conserving our natural resources, we can reduce the greenhouse gas emissions and have a more positive impact on the environment as an individual.
That was good. We do also know a lot of money is being funded to eco clubs for the conservation of natural resources and environment. Is it really beneficial?
Yes, it is a great decision by the school authority to take some action and to teach the younger ones that the importance of natural resources, the importance of Mother Earth, what we need to do as a human being to help the Mother Earth and its conservation. Because as we all know, it is not in a good state right now. So with this awareness among the children, they can realize the danger they live in and usually can take some step against it.
Okay. Resource development courses being taught at university level. Should this be included in the school curriculum too? And how would this be beneficial?
School children need to know about what is going around in our planet, the amount of damage we have caused to the planet, and how it is not in a good state. The millions of carbon dioxide emissions being released from the factories and the large amount of trees being cut is not a good sign at all. So, what are we making an impression on the younger generation? What are we giving them as a gift? This planet, this smoky planet, that's not what we should give them. The green planet is what they deserve and what they will get.
Okay. Celebrating one Mahotsav for a week once in a year is enough for the conservation of our green resources.
Events such as Earth Day and some social events such as planting of trees on a mass scale, planting of trees on catchment areas, planting of trees around the factories can help in reduction of industrial pollution by a huge amount. Trees are beneficial not only to us but also to the environment, so their importance in their environment is very crucial.
Being a science student, what steps would you suggest for the conservation of natural resources at the school level?
all students can get all students can get involved and contribute to the well-being of the planet, but as a science student we can use our technology to increase the speed of trees production. We can use genetics to increase their gene productivity. Diseases, we can make some new varieties of plants. We can try them at least. We can study about different plants. We can try to plant them at our home, at our terrace gardens, etc. Because it is not at all a bad decision to plant trees.
We all know about the principle of 5 Rs. Are these practically being implemented, and if then up to what extent?
Could you repeat the question?
We know the principles of 5 Rs and 6 Rs. Are these practically being implemented, and then up to what extent?
We see as the principle has not had been practically implemented. The government has been taking such strict measures to protect the ecosystem. We should try as a public force. We should try it. Many clubs, such as the Rotary Club of Berhampur, is trying its best to plant some trees. But the government measures should be taken with more severe action.
Okay. Good morning, all. Today here we have Dipti, student of DAV Public School, Berhampur. Good morning, Dipti. As we all know how essential are natural resources to us, and this need and greed for natural resources is leading to its depletion, and it's a matter of great concern. So what do you think, in which way we humans can save the natural resources?
Good morning, Debasis. I hope everything is doing fine. So, as you have asked that about how humans can save the natural resources, it's humans' tendency. They have exploited the nature a lot. They have used it. They have consumed it, but their original values, and they are indiscriminately cutting trees, hampering the natural balance, and many more things. But people today are now regretting because there are many renewable resources and non-renewable resources If once exhausted, they can be get back. So if we start saving now, then only we can do something. It's high time now. It's the situation demands. We have to do something to save our mother nature, because it's very important and crucial for our existence also and other human beings also.
Okay. We do also know a lot of money is being funded to eco clubs for conservation of natural resources and environment. Is it beneficial?
Yes, government is spending a lot of money to save the natural resources, but we have to do some other things also. We have to spending money is not enough. We have to check its use. We have to save it from corrupt people, middleman, and we should check the execution properly. The end user, the end consumer, or the main motive should be fulfilled by that money. Otherwise, it is of no use. Spending money is not only the goal. We have to make it some big while using that money. So execution is most important in these cases.
We also know research development course is being taught at university level. Should it should this be included in school curriculum too? And how could this be beneficial?
Yes, it should be included in school curriculum, I think, because every individual or every child or every student needs to understand the importance of natural resources. It's high time students should understand the responsibility and their uh, contribution towards the nature, and stop hampering it indiscriminately. This indiscriminate consumption and hampering the natural resources, natural balance, ecological balance. These things will lead to global warming and serious problems like it, and it will harm us only, like the ozone layer depletion. It is harming us only. UV radiations, when fall on human bodies, also it leads to skin cancers and other harmful diseases. So we need to stop this. This should be added in the resource development programs. Otherwise, it will be a very big problem.
Is celebrating one Mahotsav for a week once in a year is enough for conserving our green resources?
No, it is not enough to plant a tree on one Mahotsav only. We people are cutting lakhs of trees per day, and planting 2 to 3 saplings on one Mahotsav only is not enough. We have to plant trees every time we can, like every Sunday or like every day if we can. But this is not possible. And while planting trees is not enough, we have to take care until it grows on its own, until it become independent like a tree. Means up to some time we have to take care of that sapling. Na? If you plant saplings and the cow will come and eat it, so that is no use. Execution is most important. We have to give time to that. So planting trees on one month of only for photographs and media consumptions is not enough. We have to plant trees every day or take care of them. That's the most important thing, I think. uh, Execution is most important while doing these things.
Being a student in the science stream, what steps would you suggest for the conservation of natural resources in school?
I would say first we have to save water. First, save water. That's the main essential thing for me. First, to save water. We should stop wasting water indiscriminately, switch off the taps, small things. We can use sprinklers which are available online. We can order that. We can install into home taps. Small steps for my individually from our homes can conserve large number of water, plenty liters of water, and we can save that. And for the trees, for the mother nature, we can plant trees. That's the most important thing. While we can plant trees on a garden also. If you have big spaces, we can plant trees like big trees, like tamarind and like that, which are big trees and they can stay till several years. And water consumption is most important. We have to, if we are the water which are wasting goes into sewerage system, we can use that water for planting the trees or for our flushing, sanitation. Something can be done. We have to be very careful while using water. There are many ways we can search it online also, but individual steps need to be taken.
We know the principles of 5 R's and 6 R's. Is this Are these practically being implemented, and if then, up to what extent?
It is not up to some, not execution is not good. They all just popularize it and advertise it, but nobody does it as individual level also.
Developed countries like Japan is dependent upon its human resources, and developing countries like India is mostly dependent on natural resources. Is it a main cause for the depletion of natural resources?
No, developed countries like Japan depend upon human resource because human resource is the most crucial one and it has the best potential to give up the outstanding outputs. So they are investing on human resources. But it is not like that they don't want natural resources. They need it. They purchase it at high rates after. Natural resources has also the best importance like the human resources. The problem is that we have problem in execution in tapping the natural resources and to exploit it at its highest level to bring to bring currency, prosperity, economy to the country. So tapping natural resources while conserving it at the same time is the challenge to be taken, and it has the most influence share. And human resources and natural resources will come while conserving the natural resources. It's not that we have to exploit the natural resources at its peak level. So that's what I think.
Okay, thank you, Deepti, for your valuable time and keeping your views on the conservation of.
Thank you, Rashis. It's a wonderful time to be here.